Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about YA series. YA books are something that I own a lot of. I think that in my reading lifespan, YA is what I've read most of. It's something that I could just pick up and fly through. It's something that it's just easy to read, and some of my favorite books, some of the books that have reignited passions of reading in me throughout the years are YA books, like The Hunger Games, like The Maze Runner, like Twilight. I'm just gonna say it. I've been a reader all of my life and I've loved books my whole entire life, but throughout my life I've had long periods of time without reading. I think that the first time that I started reading again was when the Twilight series came out. I think I was in my mid-20s, and that reignited my love of reading, and I read for a while, but then I went a really long time without reading again, and it just like it's just happened like that. I think it was The Hunger Games when it came out I started reading again, and it's just, I hold YA very near and dear to my heart. But in the past few months, I haven't been very heavily reading YA. I've been reading mostly adult, and even middle grade has taken a back seat to my adult books. I am about to turn 39 this year, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. But either way, I own a lot of YA books. What I wanted to do today was share some YA series that I want to read and that I'm looking forward to. And I'm hoping that this video propels me or motivates me to get back into reading some YA books. So let's just jump right in. The first series that I have here that I have just been wanting to read for such a long time, I bought all 3 books because that's just how it is, and it is the Queen of Hearts series. I own the other 2 books here. These are just books that I have ordered through Book Outlet. I was about to say Book Depository. No, these are just books that I have ordered through Book Outlet, and they've been like a couple bucks, so I just stocked up on the whole trilogy. This follows obviously the Queen of Hearts, and this is her story, and I love the Alice in Wonderland story. As far as the movie goes, I have not read the book yet, although I own multiple of the editions of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I don't know if it was the covers that called me in or if it was just because it was the Queen of Hearts that sold me on it, but I mean, these covers just go so perfectly together. So yeah, this is the first trilogy series that I want to get into. The next series I want to talk about is the Seven Realms series. This is actually book 1. It's the only one I own at the moment, and it's by Cinda Williams Chima, The Demon King. I've heard so many good things about this series, and actually I've heard so much about this author, but when I was at Half Price Books and I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I know that this is a series that I want to read. I wasn't going to buy it because I had like 15 other books in my cart, but when I opened it, it had a little sticky note in here, and it says, honestly, one of my favorite book series, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And that somebody went through the task of putting that in there, I was like, okay, sold. So I just went ahead and bought it. But this is just another one that I really want to read. I've heard that this author is amazing and that the series is good, and I think she has like 2 other series, but I want to start with this one. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first series, and I think they all tie in together if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. The next series I want to talk about is actually Caravel, and I think it's the Caravel series. I don't know what the series is called. But actually, spoiler alert, this is going to be in my March TBR because I actually finally got the audiobook off of my library. I've had it on hold forever, and finally my time is here. So I'm hoping to read this one next month. Next month is in like 2 days. But I've heard so many good things about this. It's one that I've had on my TBR here on my shelves for years, and it just sounds so interesting. This has to do with 2 sisters and a traveling carnival, if I'm not mistaken, and choices and just adventure. So I'm hoping to get to it. I think this trilogy is already completed. I like when series are completed and I could just go and jump into the books as I want to and I don't have to wait for them. There's just something satisfying about that, just like there's something satisfying about actually going on release day and buying a book, but I'd rather the series be all completed when I start reading it so that I don't have to wait. The next series is the Renegade series by Marissa Meyer. I don't think I've ever read anything by Marissa Meyer before, but don't quote me on that. I know she has the Lunar Chronicles and all that, but this one just piques my interest so much and I'm super excited to read it. You guys know what this is about. This is a very popular series and everybody and their mothers has already read it, just like Caravel, and here I am still on my TBR. Next is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I have been wanting to read this for such a long time. I've heard amazing things about it. This is almost like a mystery thriller series that takes place in a school, in an elite school, and there's missing people and it's like told in different timelines. But I think the fourth book maybe has come out already. Fourth or third? I really don't know how long this series is, but super excited for it. I've heard that it's dark and mysterious, and that is just the way to my heart. You say dark and mysterious in a book and I'm gonna go for it. Again, it is YA, so I think it's a little bit more toned down than what I'm used to reading, but hey, either way, dark and mysterious is always a fun time. And then the last and final book that I want to talk about is actually Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Sorry, it's like a very glary cover. But I have read my first Brandon Sanderson book this month and I am hooked. I have had this on my shelves since it has released, if I'm not mistaken, because this cover is amazing. And I had already heard amazing things about Brandon Sanderson, and just by reading Elantris, I am obsessed and I want to read all his books. So this one is very, very high up there on my priority, actually. I think book 2 has come out already, and so I'm super excited. I mean, that cover is just killer. So this is one that it's probably the top out of all the ones. It's not going to be the first one that I read because, like I said, I have the audiobook for Caravel ready to go for March, but this will probably be second to be read in the stack because Brandon Sanderson has stolen my heart. He is just amazing. So that's it, you guys. Those are just some of the YA series that I hope to get to this year and hope to love this year as well. Let me know some of your favorite series down below, and if you have read either of these, what are your thoughts on them? Let's chat in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!